And first of all, I want to talk about the tariff war between China and the United States. It's recently a hot topic where has been discussing everyone, each and everyone of us who has stake in U.S.-China relations. Well, I don't think the tariff war between the two giants in the world is going to last long, because it's not good for either side. On the American side, that they will have to suffer the inflation, especially in the commodity side, because China is a manufacturing powerhouse which contributed to around 20% of the total import of American imports. The sneakers, the clothings, houseware and kitchenware and everything. Actually, the American people cannot neglect or cannot afford not buying the Chinese imports, because Chinese labor is so cheap and Chinese products is way cheaper than the imports from the rest of the world. So due to the concern of inflation, Americans gonna raise the tariff based on the reactions of his own people, the voters. So they have to take great concern on these people. So I don't think it's lasts long in this perspective. On Chinese side, I think China is going through a very harsh economic environment, especially after COVID-19. The 3-year lockdown already killed many, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of jobs. And it's already in a sluggish economy where, a lot of new graduates cannot find jobs, and tens of millions of people are laid off. Housing crisis and bubble economy. So they are facing a mounting pressure due to the sluggish economy. So they cannot afford losing the market as the big market, as one of the biggest markets. The China needs America as well. So in this spectrum, I think the two sides gonna strike a deal after all. But we're talking about this definite result, and we also have some analysis on what exactly the tariff is going to be. What's the result of the tariff war? Well, according to my analysis, I try to read some reports from the U.S. government and some of the venture capitalists reports, who claim that in the last term, Trump term, they increased the tariff of Chinese imports by around 17%. But that doesn't harm American economy at all. It only has very minor influence. So based on the last term's influence and data, and they got to a conclusion that in the next 2 years, it's fine for America to raise the tariff of Chinese imports to around 60% or more than 60%. But it's going to be a slow process, which, let's say this year, they're going to raise the tariff 20% or 25%. And next year, they're going to raise the tariff to 35%. And then in the midterm of Trump Trump administration, that's going to be like 2026. So they're going to eventually raise the tariff to around 60%. And I think this calculation or this analysis is reasonable. However, that China also has some cards to play. For example, is rare earth, which is an irreplaceable part. Once the American wants to manufacture its products in national defense, in high-tech products, high-end products, for example, chips and defense wear, for example, missiles or some core parts of electronics. So they still cannot find a replaceable partner to supply such materials. It's going to take another like 3 or 4 years to accomplish such supply chain transformation. Therefore, my suggestion, my analysis, that at the end of the day, they're going to collaborate, and America is going to raise the tariff to, let's say, 30 or 40%, but China will also use the cards they have to try to influence the Trump administration's border base, the farmer products, like, the food they try to import from America every year. They try to limit that imports from America. On the one hand, on the other, they will try to minimize the export of rare earth and relevant key supplies to try to get a negotiating upper hand. So eventually, Trump will not 100% get what he wants, but he will raise some tariffs, let's say 30 or 40%. But China will also compromise. And needless, not necessarily say that China will be kowtowing to America, but China will be losing some ground because of the bad economy. Yes.